Hello, everybody. This is Ray, and today we're going to do a deeper dive on the cultural impact of Bella Thorne's OnlyFans. Now, this is a Christian channel, and you probably didn't expect me to talk about Bella Thorne, let alone OnlyFans. And I might be the only Christian channel talking about this, and I don't mind. We are here to be theologically sound and culturally relevant. We are supposed to engage the culture, and I mean that in a more military connotation as opposed to retreating from the culture. So that's what I believe. Now, the cultural impact, I don't think we should ignore. Like, we should be aware as Christians of possible movements on the horizon and certain trends that are happening in our culture. And I think this is one trend we should perhaps prepare for and be informed about. So we're going to do a deep dive on Bella Thorne getting an OnlyFans. If you don't know what an OnlyFans is sort of like a Patreon account for pornography. So basically, independent porn creators can get subscribers. These subscribers are called simps, short for simpletons. It's a derogatory term to give shame for people who pay for pornography. So that's what OnlyFans is. It is it's a platform for pornography and porn creators. And Bella Thorne has joined it, and she's a celebrity joining this, so that's why it's a big deal. Not only has she joined, but she has also broken a record for her short-term performance on this platform. She has set a record and made millions of dollars already. So this is kind of a big deal for cultural reasons, and that's why we're going to talk about it. So let's take a look at who Bella Thorne is. Bella Thorne was on the Disney Channel show, so a kids show, Shake It Up, and she is the redhead in this picture. And her character on that show was actually kind of like the bad girl type, the sassy slacker, because Disney Channel shows at the time really had like two archetypes for characters. You had like the smart one that was a do-gooder, and then like the badder one who was a slacker, not as smart. So they always had that dichotomy in their characters, and then that's kind of what this relationship is sort of like. I believe she's also dyslexic in real life, and they actually did incorporate that into the show, so that was a more interesting little fact. But I was never really into this show growing up. It's a little past my time. Kind of like a show about dancing, and they're basically these two girls were on this dance show, which is sort of like Hairspray, if you've ever seen that musical. So basically, it's like that. So it's a little bit like Hairspray, but a TV show in the modern sense. So that's what Shake It Up was. And since Shake It Up, I don't think Bella Thorne has done a whole lot, which is kind of a shame on her part because I think she's more talented than, say, a Selena Gomez who can't act or sing, but less talented than, say, a Miley Cyrus. So she's kind of in between, and I don't think she's really done a whole lot since. And so now she's doing OnlyFans. I mean, she's dated a few basketball players, but now she's doing OnlyFans, so that's like her big fame right now. So let's talk about the outcomes of this. And the first outcome I want to talk about is the suppression of e-thot wages. E-thots are people who are the women in particular who are on OnlyFans trying to sell their pornography in subscriptions. That is what this is called. And, in larger categories like, in like gaming streams, like the cat bathtub water girl. So she was a gamer. She calls herself Gamer Girl, but she's on OnlyFans as well. So that's what, and gives a lot of female gamers a bad rap, which is a shame. So let's talk about the first outcome here is the suppression of e-thot wages. Now, I don't think you expected an economic lesson out of this, but here we go. So what has happened this year with regards to OnlyFans and the increase in this new trend in pornography is that we've seen a large increase in the supply of pornography, as indicated by the supply line. And the demand curve is right here. This is what someone is willing to pay, the price. So we've seen a shift in the supply this year because COVID, the fear bug, has created a lot of opportunity for, or desperation might be a better word, that people have gone to this as a means of making money. So that has increased the supply of e-thots, and therefore the marketing, their price point in theory is getting suppressed. So that's how the labor market works. So when there's a lot more e-thots, there's a lot less money to be made. So that is what has happened. But Bella Thorne has come in and she's charging a premium, but there's only one Bella Thorne. So her supply is like right here on the graph, and she is suppressing a lot of these wages because they cannot compete with her price point. So they have to have a new value proposition. So this is a pretty interesting economic impact. And I saw a lot of e-thots complain about this. They were complaining about the economics of the situation, that she is just coming in and ruining their platform that they can make money on by having, the celebrity brand attached to her. So it's ironic. They're making an argument against capitalism when they were using a capitalist framework, supply and demand, to make money on that platform in the first place. So it's kind of an ironic. And this is probably the best outcome of this, is that this suppression in wages will actually be a deterrent of women from becoming e-thots. And I think this is a good outcome, but it's probably not the only outcome. And it's probably the only good outcome that comes out of this. So outcome 2 is the creation of a celebrity trend, and that is that Bella Thorne is not an outlier, but she is more of the early adopter in this case, to use a more tech term. She is the early adopter of OnlyFans as it pertains to celebrities. So her migrating to OnlyFans is mainstreaming celebrity and influencer creation of pornography. And I could see this being a celebrity trend. So a lot of celebrities that Christians obviously don't look up to, but a lot of secular people look up to, will be flocking over to OnlyFans for cheap money. And if we look at the number one music video right now, the WAP, which has well over 55 million views on YouTube, we see celebrities going in a trashier direction, right? So we already see celebrities becoming more openly trashy, more openly sexual. For them to go on OnlyFans and create subscriber or exclusive content of their own pornography is not a far stretch. So this outcome is actually pretty likely, in my opinion, that Bella Thorne is more of the herald of this new trend to come in the future. So we just got to be prepared as Christians that a lot of celebrities, particularly celebrities that have impact on our children, will be producing personalized pornography in the future. So we should just be prepared as parents, as Christians, for that. So the third outcome is the normalization of e-thots. Now this is kind of like, removing stigmas against, they call it sex work, I just call it e-thots, because, again, this shouldn't be something that we, that's pleasant to talk about. And I don't consider sex to be labor. It's no more labor to do this kind of thing than it is to drink a beer. So it's not labor. It's just e-thots being e-thots. I guess what I'm saying is that this will be like a side hustle. Like this will be the female equivalent of being an Uber driver. And Bella Thorne endorsing this practice of being an e-thot will kind of help normalize the trend across the board. And while at the same time suppressing the wages. So it's kind of like, she's encouraging this as a side hustle, like being an Uber driver, which I was a Lyft driver at one point back in the day. It was very brief. So, and I didn't really think it was worth the money, in my opinion. But she's kind of encouraging this as a side hustle. She's kind of like painting the road in gold that she made $2 million already doing this, and you can too if you work hard enough. And a lot of people see this as a side hustle that's worthy, but it's really not. It's a sinful side hustle, similar to selling drugs. And that is something that she is encouraging, and that's a bad thing, certainly. And it just speaks a lot about our culture and where it's at right now. So I think the normalization of e-thots could be a very possible outcome. But like I said, all three of these could happen at once. None of these options are mutually exclusive from each other. The suppression of e-thot wages could very well coincide with the widespread celebrity migration to the platform and migration into pornography in general, as well as the normalization of this practice as a legitimate side hustle by our society. So I think all three of these are possible outcomes, and only one could have a positive byproduct. The other two were extremely negative. But at the same time, as Christians, we stand out more when the culture becomes more and more filled with debauchery. So that's the silver lining. Historically speaking, the Christians in ancient Rome stood out quite a bit from their culture, and this was an attraction to Roman citizens who recognized the evil culture that they lived in. So I think as Christians, there is a silver lining to this. God is in control. However, we should be prepared for these trends on the horizon in our culture. So that's all I want to say about that. My name's Ray. Like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about what I think, and I will catch you on the next one.